Hello. Today, we have a comparison between Hindu Brahman and the Greek gods. Beginning with the Greek side, the Greek gods can be interpreted as archetypes, residing in the collective unconscious, meaning primordial psychological patterns that precede individual consciousness. The primordial deities, known as the primordials such as Chaos, Gaia, Nyx, and Tartarus representations of forces, places, or abstract concepts. Their existence predates time, space, and dimensions, placing them beyond any physical definition. This is especially evident in Tartarus, whose true form cannot be comprehended, as it is a purely abstract and metaphysical existence. Tartarus is not merely a location, but the embodiment of all underworlds. Specifically, the realm beneath Hades' domain. Hades himself, as one of the three pillar gods of Greek mythology, rules the realm of the dead, where souls are judged and sorted. A realm that can be understood as a cosmic structure similar to the concept of a world tree. Greek and Roman mythology clearly contain world tree symbolism, such as the myth of Zeus uniting with Gaia, resulting in a massive oak tree whose roots reach Tartarus and whose branches extend to the stars, or Hera's golden apple tree which held parts of the universe together, with roots below and branches above, resembling the tree of life. The dragon Ladon guarding this tree symbolizes cosmic protection, further suggesting that the Greek cosmos is structured around metaphysical axes rather than simple physical geography. This metaphysical framing is also reflected in depictions of uninhabited Greek islands, which appear detached from human activity and function as mythological stages. Likewise, divine weapons such as Poseidon's Triana, the three-pronged spear, are not merely weapons, but archetypes representing power and domination over chaos, with attacks portrayed as overwhelmingly intense and terrifying. According to Carl Jung, numbers themselves are archetypes and are not bound by time, space, or quantity, meaning concepts such as infinity and cardinality fall under the same framework, placing the primordials beyond numerical classification. Nyx, for example, as the primordial goddess of night, existed before time and space, can be formless, and possesses dominion over darkness and death, with a presence that alone inspires terror. In comparative power discussions, Hades has demonstrated the ability to fight Vali and Fenrir simultaneously, injure Fenrir, and withstand Vali's attacks, being ranked above Angra Mainyu, higher than Azazel, and among the top 10 strongest across all factions, emphasizing that this portrayal refers to the original mythological Hades. Ultimately, all primordials embody abstract concepts or metaphysical locations. And since numbers themselves are archetypal, this framework naturally applies to any numerical or existential system as well. Now let us explain. Brahman. Nirguna Brahman is the absolute itself, beyond all limits, beyond language and beyond thought. It is being and yet not being, consciousness and yet not consciousness in the human sense. Any description collapses the moment it is applied. Because Brahman precedes all categories, qualities, and distinctions, it is not an object that can be known, nor a subject that knows, but pure reality itself. When the Buddha described nirvana as consciousness without end, this closely parallels the idea of Brahman as infinite, objectless consciousness. Atman exists within Brahman, but does not contain it, nor divide it. Since Brahman is indivisible, partless, and admits no quantity or proportion, individual selves are simply different expressions of the same undivided reality. From the human viewpoint, Brahman is said to create the world, pervade it, and govern it. Yet this relation is asymmetrical, for the world arises from Brahman while Brahman is never affected or limited by the world. The universe is a manifestation of Brahman, creative unfolding, while matter represents the furthest degree of self-concealment, marked by division and ignorance. Through cosmic evolution, Brahman gradually becomes self-aware within form. Maya or Shakti is the supreme creative power that generates infinite diversity. Brahman is not merely peaceful or harmonious, for it also has a numinous and terrifying aspect that overwhelms the human mind. Here its connection to Buddhism and Taoism becomes clear. Buddhism negates both being and non-being through the void, while Taoism teaches that existence arises from non-being. In the Upanishads, Nirguna Brahman transcends both entirely, while Saguna Brahman sustains the cosmos through a dynamic balance between silence and movement, freedom and form. This is not a denial of life, but a deeper vision of it, rooted in detachment and equilibrium. Brahman is not nothingness, but deeper than existence itself, which is why true emptiness is often identified with it. It resembles the Tao and Tai Kai as the nameless source of all dualities. In its nirguna state, Brahman is absolute silence, realized not through thought, but through identity. Sat Chit Ananda remains the closest description: pure being, pure consciousness, and pure bliss, beyond pleasure and pain. Nirvana or moksha is union with this reality, liberation from karma and rebirth, and eternal, changeless freedom. Brahman is stronger. Why? Because the comparison isn't really fair from the start. The Greek gods, even the primordials like Chaos, Nyx, and Tartarus, are extremely powerful and exist beyond time, space, and numerical concepts, which already puts them above any ordinary personal or cosmic deity. But they still remain manifestations or personifications of concepts, places, or forces within a certain cosmic framework, even if that framework is metaphysical. Nirguna Brahman, however, is not an entity inside a framework. It is the framework itself, and beyond it at the same time. It is not a power, not a concept, not being, not non-being. Is the source that precedes existence and non-existence, precedes one and many, precedes consciousness itself. There is no fighting or defeating, because nothing can even stand before it. The Greek primordials can be seen as great archetypes in the collective unconscious, but Brahman precedes even the idea of the collective unconscious itself, as the source of all consciousness and all unconsciousness. Simply put, the Greek gods, no matter how high, are a very high metaphysical level within existence. Nirguna Brahman equals pre-existence itself. In terms of scaling, Brahman ranks above any universe based on concepts, numbers, dimensions, or even archetypes. To make an analogy, the furthest the Greeks could reach was the root, but Brahman is what made the idea of the root possible. Final answer: Nirguna Brahman, all of Greek mythology combined. And if we want a detailed, line-by-line scaling comparison, we could really set it on fire.